Yeah, my internet did just cut out.
be crazy if I joined the session and kind of like. Oh, I'm racing again. I'm racing again. Hang on a sec. I can't retire. No. Shall I race?
No, just retire straight away.
No, but what if I win though?
I don't think you're winning out, buddy.
I want to message Nox, see if I can.
I mean, you could actually start racing his league if you wanted.
Probably not a good idea. I'll fail horribly.
Good choice. Alright, the lights are out now as we come back to the drivers. The cars are off, down into turn 1. Adam, can you continue coverage for a second?
Yeah, so in first place, leading by quite a bit. No, actually, never mind. It's Iron Nides, but Atlas Guy is in second, which is he's quite close, I must admit. But yeah, it's not looking too bad from Atlas Sky so far with the 0.3 second gap looking pretty good today.
Right, so I am back. So possible strategies, as this is only a 25 lap race. I think most drivers might be going on to the hards. I don't think many will be picking the mediums, as there is higher deg on this track. So I'm just putting all things up. Right, Ionides in the Mercedes is leading the pack only by 3/10, as a DRS train seems already starting to form. It's almost like we're in tier 1 again, as the McLaren driver goes for a move on the Haas. Aiden Rufus moves into 3rd place. Now coming down the Senna S. He's going to be looking to catch up to AI Ruthless, but with that 6/10 gap, it's definitely not happening this time round. The Haas driver will be looking to make that position back, but he seems to have fallen behind now. So some drivers on the medium, it seems like Piminta in the Kick Sauber, who got disqualified at the start, is on hard compound to maybe go long, as we go on board with the McLaren driver trying to follow the rest of the top 3.
And just
The Haas driver behind, as the McLaren driver sets the fastest sector 2, maybe catching fastest lap this time round, as he gets DRS and he will be looking at the back of AR Ruthless Guy's car. He sets fastest lap as well. Oh, little change for the lead there for a split second, as the Williams driver looks at a move on the Mercedes. He's going to look round the outside now with DRS. He looks like he's going to make this move. Is he going to switch to the inside last second? No, he's going to hold back, letting the McLaren driver catch up even further. He's definitely like a contender for today's race win. So, so far, there is a DRS train forming, as Forzaman in the Aston Martin in 12th position gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. So, if any of these drivers win, it will not be a repeat winner today. I don't think any of the winners in the last races are actually competing today. But the Williams with DRS now will be looking for a move. If he's not looking for a move, it'll definitely be the McLaren driver of Aiden 19. It looks down the inside. It backs out, as there might be a change for lead here. The Mercedes driver goes defensive down the inside. The Williams looking around the outside once more, but he just manages to keep it. He has DRS. The McLaren driver looking for that move too down the inside. He's made up second. He takes it to first. He manages to take advantage of Idenus going defensive, but he doesn't seem to defend enough against the Mercedes driver, as they're both batting it out for the lead now. This is going to be a tale of who can step on the brakes latest. It seems the Mercedes driver, as the McLaren goes to a switchback round the inside. He's going to be looking for some late braking now to catch up. Is he going to get this move done anytime soon? It looks like he gets that move done beautifully down the outside. So he might be on a bit of a disadvantage as that overtake was done so late on. But it's looking like the McLaren driver is going to be leading lap 4 of this race. The Mercedes driver looking for a move already down the inside. The McLaren not going defensive, but he's starting to get a bit defensive against the Williams as he keeps his position and he moves down to 2nd place. He's got DRS on the Mercedes now. It's looking like a very close battle at the front. He's going to go down the inside. He's going to look for it. He's not going to go for that move just yet, but he will be waiting for any mistakes played by the driver, and he's going to follow that car very nicely around these turns as he's going to try keep that DRS. And as long as he has that, the DRS train will keep on going. As D. Saipi, who was looking very good for pole, is down in 5th now, 4 seconds behind the top 4 in a battle of his own, as the Red Bull driver of Vabok 6, who is behind the pack, seems to have had an inside it down in turn 1 on the first lap. As the Mercedes driver will be leading lap 5, as there is many changes for the lead in today's race. The Williams driver behind, still trying to look for that move. He's waiting for the perfect opportunity. The McLaren is going to opt to go around the inside, not late enough on the brakes, little bit of collision, as Vabok 6, driver in 14th, gets a penalty. The Mercedes trying to go defensive, the McLaren bringing it down the inside. He's on the grass. Is he going to make this overtake on the grass? He's going to send it down the inside, not late enough on the brakes for him there. He's still going to make that move done though. Beautiful overtake by the McLaren, as many of the back runners have got penalties now. The McLaren leading the pack very nicely, as the Mercedes will be looking to get it back next time round. Now when we look, there is a battle down in the midfield as we watch the Ferrari get the overtake on Pelicanes. Beautiful move down the inside now. He's going to look for another move on the Alpine, as the other Ferrari driver makes that move as well. Now, at this point in the race, he'll be looking towards saving tyres, and many may be even thinking of pit stopping within the next few laps, maybe to get the undercut on many drivers, maybe opting to go on hards. We will see as this race progresses, as might be a change for lead, as the Williams takes 1st place in this race from down the inside on the Mercedes. The Mercedes is going to look for the strike back though. He sends it down the inside late enough on the brakes, and he gets that move done beautifully, as the RB driver, who is in 11th, has retired from the race and has left the session. He will move down into 14th place. So the Mercedes driver will now be hoping that he gains enough gap on the McLaren to escape DRS this time round, as the DRS train may be starting to break apart a bit, as the Williams, who was looking for 1st place in this race, now falls down into 4th. So the gap has been broken, and there will only be DRS for 2nd place right now, in contention for the lead. Will he make an overtake on this lap? I think he might be a bit too far back for that, but if he's late enough on the brakes, anything can happen. He's not going to send it down the inside. There is nearly a 2-second gap for the top 2. Oh, and there's been something happened with the Red Bull, the driver. He's hit the wall, it looks like, on the last turn, and he's trying to get back up on track, as he is about a lap down nearly behind the pack, after he gained all of that time as well. What a shame for the driver. So a gap is starting to form between the pack now. It looks like AR Ruthless has overtook into third place, and will be now charging towards the top two, trying to make a difference, as the Red Bull driver seems to crash down in sector 1, which will not be good for him there, and his race. But the second place is now looking for the overtake, the McLaren, as AR Ruthless is settling into his position to try and save his tyres for now. So it looks like there's going to be no changes for the lead, but there is going to be a safety car. A safety car is now out on track, and that will make many opportunities as the Red Bull driver retires from the race. Now this will spice it up a bit, as every single person is on safety car conditions, but while we're under those conditions we will follow the top 4. I am going to go to the toilet real quick while we breeze the safety car through. Right, I am back. It looks like the top 4 have pitted. So, yes, so yeah, so we are currently under safety car conditions. Sorry about that, guys. Yep, right. Right, we are in safety car as nearly all of the drivers have bunched up with the pack. It looks like this race can definitely get spiced back up, as there is 15 more laps of racing to do today. Top 4 staying the same, as safety car will not be coming out yet, as Forsman R8 in last place will be wants to catch the pack as quick as he can now, so the safety car doesn't start about to, like we had an incident in Tier 1 where that happened. We are going to go on mute for the safety car period for a minute until we are ready to go back racing. Right, and race control have just said that safety car will be in this lap. As we get that green flag, we will see how well AR Ruthless responds to Iona's punch on the throttle now. We are going to watch second place go side by side doing the Verstappen strategy. He hits that throttle, he's off. Brilliant start from Iones there. Follows the man, R8 with 10-second penalty. It looks like he's collided with somebody, but not many moves are going to be made on the first lap of safety car after safety car racing. Don't mind that it says safety car on the left side of the screen, that just seems to be a timing board error. The Williams driver is going to look for a move down the inside. He's going to take a peek, but he's deciding it's a bit too risky, and maybe he's not going to be far enough ahead. Tay Farmer 0 with a penalty. Now any of these top 5 runners will be looking to not get a penalty now at this point, or that will basically end their race. The Williams looking for any mistake by the Mercedes driver. Sorry about that whirring, but it looks like the Williams might make that move down into coming into turn 1 with no assist on DRS this lap though, so the move might not be made here, but he's definitely going to start to use a bit of overtake just to try and catch up to the Mercedes driver. He's got slipstream. I don't think he's going to be fast enough though this time round, as DRS is now enabled and will be used down into sector 2. So we have got DRS now. The Williams is going to be trying to look for a move, as the McLaren looks like he's too far back anywhere. He's going to look for it, but the Mercedes defends beautifully there. There is a couple of fights down in the midfield pack. Nothing is going to be happening in the top 4 as the DRS train forms once again. We just broke it before safety car appeared. And the Ferrari goes for a move on the Aston Martin. Brilliant move there. A bit shaky, but overall a great move by the driver. He's going to look to pounce on his teammate as well now. No real overtakes are going to be made as the tyres are now, as another penalty is awarded to Matex Ben, who was looking very, very strong in these past races. I think he's had some very strong results, like in Spain in the second round of the season with that win. Very good, as the other Ferrari goes for a move on the Alpine driver. He doesn't manage to stick it, but we look as the McLaren driver makes that move on the Mercedes. He's gonna get into second place. He's following the Williams very closely. The Mercedes behind him, trying to look around the outside, looking down the inside. He won't be making a move around these turns though, as that will be classed as a pretty risky movement to do. As the Mercedes comes down the inside of the McLaren. Very, very strong overtake there. As the the Williams goes for a switchback, but the McLaren makes that move and pulls it off brilliantly. So he's going to lead the pack on this lap, unless the Williams can look for another move anywhere in these final 2 turns. Oh, the Haas goes off in the back there. You can just see it going wide. That's going to lose him DRS on this lap. Not the best result, as the Williams is going to go for the overtake down the left side of the car. He gets ahead on the straight, as the Mercedes is looking for that move. He makes that move and he sticks it, making the McLaren down in P3. Now the McLaren has no pressure after the Haas's mistake last lap round, going wide on the third to last turn. He's going to try to catch up with the back of the pack, as the Williams has no DRS, and the Mercedes goes for the move. The Williams can't do anything to defend there, as another driver gets a 3-second penalty. The Williams looking everywhere for a spot to overtake, as the McLaren loses DRS so far this lap, and the Haas overtakes him. The Haas, it looks like the McLaren might have gone wide somewhere on track, as the Williams will be looking for a move on the Mercedes now. Very strong racing from these two. This is looking out to be an exciting race. here. Yo. Right. Sorry about that one. It looks like it's going to be a fairly strong time from the Mercedes to gain that position in first back, as the Haas in third and the McLaren, who was looking to win, is moved down to 8th place. This is not looking good for the driver now. He's got DRS. He's going to be looking for a recovery on those positions. The Williams doesn't manage to make a move on the Mercedes. Haas starting to partly catch up to the top two now. But it's Forzaman R8 who is in last place currently with another 3-second penalty. The McLaren, who was looking for the win, gets past the drivers to get into 8th place this race, losing 3 positions off where he started in qualifying. The Williams will be looking very closely at the back of that driver. So many penalties for drivers now, even the Haas with a 3-second penalty. We will look at tyre data now, as the Williams might be looking for a move on the Mercedes. It makes that clean overtake in DRS. The Mercedes is not going to do anything to counter that down into turn 1. He's going to have to try to defend it, as it now says that when we have but the Mercedes is going to look for a move now. It goes down deep into that turn. Mercedes made a beautiful overtake, but that causes the Haas to get to DRS on the top 2. Williams is not going to like how that happened last second, but he's not going to lose confidence in this race, as we only have a few more laps of racing to go now. Looking very, very close at the front. The Haas now with DRS again, after his little mistake a couple of laps back. But the Williams is going to look for any opportunity or a gap open by the Mercedes driver. He's got DRS down the pit straight now. He's going to look for any overtakes round the inside or the outside. He's seen a gap on the inside. He's not going to go late enough on the brakes. He backs out last second as the Haas driver seems to fall back on that straight. He's going to look for an overtake now down into this part of the track. He's caught up very nicely. He sees a gap down the inside. Very, very clean by the driver now. Is he going to make that overtake stick? He is, and he's going to send it down the inside. This is a very good battle for the lead now, as the Mercedes going to try to fight that back, but the Williams more later on the brakes than he ever could be. Very, very close racing now, as some drivers get 3-second penalties. Looks like there's been a bit of a collision in the back as the Haas loses DRS once again. So the Mercedes driver, having defended the lead for 2 laps, loses a bit of traction there on the exit of the corner. That little snap will not be good for him. We are gonna just give us a second. The Mercedes now with DRS. He's going to look for a move down the inside. He's a bit too far back this time round though. He's looking very close down into turn 2. He's going to look for a move down on the straight. He's got DRS. He's going to stay there. He's going to move to the inside to get that overtake done on the Williams. The Williams trying to switch back now, but not close enough after a beautiful overtake done by the Mercedes. Well done to him there. With 6 laps of racing left to do, this is the very latter stages of this race. It looks like a driver has pitted though. The Alpine has pitted, as the McLaren, who was fighting for the lead, is down in P11. This will be an absolute heartbreak for him. You got to feel bad for the driver. The Mercedes managing to defend the Williams off. He's gonna try hold it down DRS, but it's not very likely as the straight is so long round here. The Williams with DRS now. He's gonna look down the inside He's not going to launch an attack. He's too far behind, even if he's later on the brakes. But with 5 laps of racing, he's going to start to get desperate now, as the Haas, who had DRS, manages to go wide on that first turn, losing DRS now, as the Williams looks to make an attack too far back once again, not late enough on the brakes. He's not going to look for a move. He doesn't want to get too risky with the Mercedes, but he's going to definitely try to use any opportunity he can with any gaps he sees just to get this position. So the Williams driver is going to try make another launch on this attack. Hopefully can defend it for 4 laps after that if he manages to make that overtake. But with gaps starting to form in the grid now, the Haas driver, who went wide on turn 1, seems to have had a little bit of an issue and moved down into 5th place. 2 Ferraris down in 3rd and 4th now. One of them will be very happy if they get a podium position. Many points to give out in this race, as we have the Williams driver looking down the inside, not on the brakes late enough there this time, as the McLaren driver, whose heart was already broken, is now moving down. He's moving up to 10th. Lots of gaps in this, as the Aston Martin driver makes a position for 7th. The Mercedes still managing to hold on, but every second he's holding on, he's getting under more pressure by the Williams. Just give us a second, guys. We are still watching the race in the background. The Mercedes now looking to gain a gap. Looks like it won't be happening on this lap though, with the cause of slipstream. The Williams gonna look around the outside. No switch back for today. Not this lap at least. He's gonna try to hold it on to last turn. The Williams goes for a move now down into that corner there. He's got DRS. He's gonna look for a move on the Mercedes, which is gonna be very important for this part of the race. He's gonna look down the inside. Is he gonna send it late enough on the brakes? Just late enough on the brakes. Very, very clean racing between these two drivers now, as the Mercedes just manages to stay ahead with beautiful defence from him there. I cannot say any better. As the Williams is going to look for another move down the inside, he just backs out, as he's going to not get any overtake done on this lap. So the time is now ticking down for the Williams driver, and he'll be definitely waiting for any mistake made by the Mercedes. Now looking further down the field, it looks like Ferrari were very overjoyed with what's happened here, as the Aston Martin is getting very close, but we will pan back to the 1st and 2nd place. But it looks like the Ferrari in 3rd is starting to catch up to the drivers, maybe starting to put the Williams under more pressure than he should be. Williams is going to look for a move down the inside or outside if he is far enough away. He's got DRS, but he might be too far back on the Mercedes. Time ticks down with only 2 laps of racing left now. It's going to be a very, very close at the end of this race. So far in this race, the Williams have looked very strong after nearly taking pole. The 1st and 2nd are battling out for 1st and 1st once again. So the Williams is gonna try look for an attack on this lap, but if not, this might be game over for him. He's gonna have to use any chance he can get, any opportunity, but the Mercedes driver of Iodinez has been looking very, very strong this whole weekend. So the Williams coming around the last turn, 1 turn to go until he has DRS. He's going to look for a move as there's a collision downfield. Oh, it looks like the state car has crashed and maybe collided with one of the Aston Martins, as the Williams is again too far back to launch an attack on the Mercedes. He's gonna look for an attack on the exit of turn 3 now with DRS as well. He's now going to be looking in his rearview mirror as well, as it looked like the Ferrari was catching him, but he's starting to fall back again now. So the Williams not managing to make an attack. Only one lap of racing left. There's not many overtakes been made in this section of the track down in Sector 2. So these drivers will be looking to, if you're the Mercedes, gain the gap. And obviously if you're the Williams, lose and gain onto his time. Fastest driver on track, I couldn't tell you for the minute. It looks like it might be Pimenta, as he is on basically fresh softs. As the McLaren driver seems to have had an incident again. The race leader for a couple of laps is down in 12th position, but the Williams is going to look for a move on the Mercedes. Enough gap this time to go for an overtake round the inside. Oh, he's going to back out. He's going to back out of the overtake. What is he doing there? I'm guessing he felt it was a bit too risky, as he wouldn't mind to go onto the grass and cause a collision. But he's going to have DRS down here. He's going to look down the inside. He's not going to have enough room though, as we are on the last lap. If this is the race win for the Mercedes, this will be an absolutely perfect day right here. As the Williams looking for the attack down the inside, not managing to make it, is gonna follow the Mercedes around this section, and he's gonna try get an overtake done in the last part. He has DRS, only one chance to do this now. Can he pull this off? As they come round, too much happening, mate. This is an epic race, but the Mercedes is going to look to use all ERS. The Williams, all ERS right now. It's a battle for the win. The Mercedes driver is going to come home to take his first ever win here in Tier 2 of SSL. A brilliant race on the driver, just passing by AI Ruthless, who nearly was the pole sitter. Well done to the Ferrari in third for getting that last podium position. A bit disappointing from the McLaren and the Haas, who were in the DRS train. So very tight race today, and I'm pretty sure many of the drivers will be very happy with that result. Only 2 drivers left in this session, as the Mercedes will be celebrating the win. Well done to the driver, I've got to say. Voice crack again, crazy. As driver of the day goes to Fanboy Vento, the Ferrari driver, in 3rd place. So in my opinion, absolutely brilliant race on these drivers, I've got to say. I mean, the battle for the lead, especially in the last couple of laps, and many of these drivers from different places. It's just been a brilliant race today. Well done to all the drivers in Tier 1. It turns out a second commentator has just quitted in the middle of that part. But the Mercedes coming home with an excellent win on today's race. So these are the race results. Very good race for some of the drivers. Pimenta, the Brazilian driver, who was looking fairly strong, finishes down in 9th after 3 pit stops. So many incidents in this race today with warnings and penalties, but overall it's been a fairly clean race at the front, and it's been a very good day for some of these drivers. The ones that weren't expecting the results they got today. We are going to thank you all for watching the stream today, and we hope you all have a good night, good day, or good wherever you are. We will see you guys in Tier 2 for round 5. Goodbye.